Hello everyone, this is Mike from The Iron Mike 123 on a YouTube channel, and this is part 2 of Canada's earthquake report, August. And I'll get right on with it because time is short. Okay, so one thing that's kind of hidden in a way would be the they've done surveys and studies on how earthquakes affect animals and humans. There was a study done in China, and it was cut off before it was totally finished. But from what I can understand, what they found out was animals start acting strange a week, 72 hours before an earthquake, and maybe even right up to the earthquake, of course, right? Because they're feeling the vibrations of the earth. Way more connected than we are. Although we are connected, and these studies also show that people, us, we the people, get headaches in the frontal lobe near the pineal gland, and this is the magnetite, they're saying, that's in your pineal gland, and it reacts to the frequencies of the earth. So it'll give you a headache in the front of foremost of your head from anywhere from a week to 72 hours before an earthquake. So if you don't normally get headaches, you'll notice you're getting frontal headache, right? So be aware, because you have to keep in touch to feel the changes of our Earth. And she does, Gaia. I admit my love to you, Gaia. We try to stay in touch with you. Thank you. Okay, another thing really important, I guess before I run out of time here, I might not get it in here, but it's really important we've had a couple of earthquakes off the southeast of Tofino, and within the 19th and the 20th of August 2012, we've had 2 earthquakes in the range of 5.3 and 5.7, 5.5. I'm sorry, I'm going to have to get used to this. This is my very first crack at the kitty here. So they were 250 kilometers southeast of Tofino. So that's a fairly significant uptick in the earthquakes off the coast of the northern tip of Oregon and Vancouver Island, right? So we'll pay close attention to that in the near future. The next thing is how to read. Like if you go to the Canada or the Natural Resources Canada and to the earthquakescanada.com or .ca, I'm sorry, it will they tell you, if you get into the finer stuff, how to read these earthquakes. Anyways, on a graph, you'll see it on the graphs, and if it's a long narrow band, it's usually not an earthquake. It's an earthquake will show on a fairly sharp scale. It'll go up, blah 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 blah. Here's your baseline, go up fairly sharply and then taper off within a fairly short duration. It won't be a long duration unless it's a really big one, of course. You also have out there on the coast, most of these sensors are right on the coast, so or near water, so you're going to get ships, small boats, gale force winds. They all affect the sensors, and they'll give you this more or less a longer, flatter reading with no spiking per se in it. It's just to give you a little heads up on how to read it. And there'll be other other little juicy tidbits along the way here as I go along, and I'm learning too. Thank you for your patience. So all these updates, I'll like I said, I'll give weekly. We also, I'm not here to impress. I'm simply here to give you information. So I'm afraid the teeth really don't play a role in it for me. So I'm here for you and your information. Thank you. And I have a short bit of information to finish off this video, and it's regards to more threats we don't perceive in the right fashion, I feel, and that would be this one right here. And I'll continue to play that. And for everybody listening and watching, please share this information with anybody you feel would like to know it, because this is our way of communicating without using the television, the TV channels, which tend to keep you asleep a lot, I think. Okay, so we love you all. I'll say goodbye now, and I'll finish off with this short audio, and God love. God bless.
Presents a compelling case study, and not only because its quake produced the kind of shaking that may affect Vancouver and Victoria, it also has in place similar building standards to those in Canada. John Cassidy of Natural Resources Canada had a chance to visit the area.
So John was just going to state that our building codes are really similar, and that our buildings, if they're under the code, don't hold up very well. So it's very important we check into that. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead here about to there, and I'll finish off with that. Thank you. Bye now. Talk to you soon.
In the coastal areas where there was very strong shaking, there was also a tsunami. It was 2 to 3 meters high, but in some areas 10 or 15 meters high. And that tsunami came in 20 or 30 minutes after the earthquake, in some areas up to 2 or 3 hours after the earthquake. What we found specifically was that the oldest buildings were hardest hit, those buildings that were constructed before modern building codes. Modern buildings